All righty, welcome everybody. Welcome to this special edition of the Spin Zone. And today we are launching our Super Bowl coverage, starting with the wild card matchup games that are to be held this weekend. And as usual, in my co-host chair is my good friend, my best friend, Steve Rodriguez.
What's up, Dan? Hey, thanks once again for having me on the show for this special episode. And all I have to say is, how about the Cowboys?
Yes, we hope that on Sunday we've got something to celebrate. As you know, they've got a game with the Green Bay Packers, and we're hoping for a good game.
Yes,
No
sir.
doubt
Yes, sir.
about
Yes,
that.
sir. Hey, it's gonna be a good game. We're not hoping for a good game. It's gonna be a good game, sir. Right?
Yes, it has to be a good game, right? So.
No cheeseheads don't have a chance.
All righty. Well, let's go ahead and flip to our virtual theater screen, whatever that is these days. It's changed a
Right. Hey,
lot.
hey, what episode is this?
Oh, it is episode 20 for the Spin Zone, but it is the third or fourth episode for this year. So we're keeping the old numerical sequence until the Super Bowl, and then we'll restart it
Awesome.
next year. But let's go ahead and flip over to the virtual theater. And by the way, how do you like our new look for the Super Bowl?
Hey, I like it. I like
Now,
it. It
now
just
what?
should have a bigger star than any other helmet, but hey,
Yeah,
I guess you have
well,
to be fair.
I have to be fair, of course. And of course, what do you recognize about the actual Brownsville Tech logo font? Any
Nothing.
any ideas where it came from?
No. No.
You don't?
No.
Oh, well, I'll give you a peek.
All right. I won't even mention it. All right.
Well,
Might be a franchise thing.
well,
I'll be right.
no, it's not. I made sure of that. That's
All
not the
right. Good.
exact font. There's something different about it, but it's identical.
All right.
But as you know what the difference is between a good artist and a great artist, right?
No. What is the
You don't
difference?
know? The difference is that a good artist copies, but a great artist steals. And that was coming directly from my previous mentor beyond Elon. His name was Steve Jobs.
Yes. 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 Yes.
So anyway, we've got the playoffs, and of course, now we've got two sides, right? Two divisions. We've got the AFC and the NFC,
Yes, sir.
and we've got several teams that are on the playoffs. And the Ravens and the San Francisco 49ers have a bye week because they're at the top of each division. So they get to rest for at least a week while the rest of the teams here, including the Cowboys, try to hash it out. So on the AFC side, we've got the Steelers versus the Buffalo Bills. We've got the Dolphins versus Kansas City Chiefs. And by the way, that game is kind of questionable. Not so much questionable, but they're really wanting them to relocate that game somewhere else because it plans
Something on the weather, right?
the weather tomorrow is going to be minus below zero in the minus temperatures. So they're concerned that it's going to be too cold
But
for,
but the Cowboys played in the Ice Bowl. What hand they played?
I don't know, it's a different generation.
Oh, all right. All right.
So then, of course, you've got the Cleveland Browns against the Houston Texans and these are the AFC teams vying for that. And then we'll talk about what happens with each of these later on in this different slide. And then, of course, on the NFC side, you've got the Green Bay Packers against the Cowboys, the LA Rams against the
It
Detroit
should be the
Lions.
Cowboys against the Green Bay Packers. All right. All
Okay,
right.
well,
Come on. Get it right, man. You get it
well,
right.
that's the
All
way the
right.
national media had it, so I have to follow what the national media.
Ah, they're biased.
And then, of course, you've got the Philadelphia Eagles against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Right. So the very
Now,
first,
why don't you have the star over here on this side and the Green Bay on the other side?
well, it's because, first of all, I couldn't find a Green Bay helmet logo that actually, when I flipped it the other way, it would show the G correctly. So unfortunately, I had to put
All
it
right,
that way. If you really want to know
all
the
right,
truth.
all righty. Thank you.
So, the game that we're interested in, obviously, is the game between the Green Bay Packers and the Dallas Cowboys. That is to be
Yes,
held
sir.
on Sunday, the 14th at 4:30. I did have the station somewhere, but I didn't post them down, so y'all can find it yourselves at this point.
All righty.
This is the game that's of interest to us primarily,
Yes.
right? And I left the old. I didn't.
What's 11, 5, and 412? What's
I
that?
know, I know. That was from a previous slide, so we'll have to ignore that. I'm sorry.
We forgive you.
All right, so just to get a recap of the regular season matchups between the Cowboys and Dallas, they last played against each other back on November 13th, 2022. Uh, and the Green Bay Packers obviously won that game. And they met previous years before, but I just wanted to give a little bit of a historical for anybody who's interested. Let's also just mention that it doesn't matter what they did this past season. Now at this point, the scores that they raked up have absolutely nothing to do with the playoffs. So it's basically starting from scratch again. You know,
Yes, sir.
but from a historical perspective, I just wanted to include those out there for any NFL
Yeah,
history
as right
buffs.
now, it's one and done.
Right, right. So, alrighty. So, injury trackers, as far as the Dallas Cowboys are concerned, we still have a few uh, players out there that are injured.
Can't you wave your magic wand and auto and be cured?
Well, there may be some of them we don't want to even
Uh,
show up at the field, but you know they're injured for the most part. But Dorrance Armstrong, the defensive end, he's got out with an ankle injury. Brandon Cooks, wide receiver, he's on bed rest. Stephen Gilmore, cornerback, he's got a shoulder injury. Jonathan Hankins, he's got an ankle injury. Malik Hooker, safety, he's got an ankle injury. Defensive end, Demarcus Lawrence, he's out on bed rest. Jordan Lewis, cornerback, he's out on bed rest. Zach Martin, the guard, he's out on bed rest. Tyler Smith, offensive tackle, he's got a foot injury. And Tyrone Smith, offensive tackle, he's out on bed rest. Now, whether these guys that are out on bed rest actually show up to the game on Sunday, I don't know. I don't know how long bed rest really means, whether it's a day or two, a week, or whether they've been on bed rest forever. God knows. But we'll see how many of these guys actually play on
yes,
Sunday.
sir.
And then, of course, on the Green Bay side, it wouldn't be fair unless we, have share a little bit of concern for the Green Bay Packers, the Cheeseheads, obviously.
It
And
is what it is.
right, and we're not talking about the Cheese Nation, the local Cheese Nation. They wouldn't know what soccer and football and American football or the differences between the two. So we're not talking about the
That's
local
I
thing.
see the helmet on the Green Bay.
Yeah, look at that. Look at what I did. You see what I was talking about? You know
Yes,
you know how it
yes,
turns
yes.
the G? Well, that's what I was trying to
Mm.
prevent. So that's why.
All right,
Okay, so you got to forgive me for it. I know you're very
I
upset.
forgive you.
I
I
know you're
forgive
very
you.
upset about that. So
Very, very. You know, I didn't even know that was a team.
right, right. So on the Green Bay side, you've got the is it Jair Alexander? He's the cornerback. He's out with a shoulder ankle injury. Devondre Campbell, he is out with a neck injury. The running back AJ Dillon, he's got a thumb injury and a neck injury. Romeo Dubes, he's a wide receiver. He's out for a chest injury. Elton Jenkins, he's out with a knee ankle injury. Aaron Jones is out with a knee finger injury. Isaiah McDuffie, or McDuffie, he's a linebacker. He's out with a concussion. Luke Musgrave, the tight end, Something about his kidney. Not really sure what
Wow.
that means. So that must be a serious thing, you know. Josh Myers, center guard. He's got a neck injury. Jonathan Owens, safety. He's got a knee injury. Jaden Reed, the wide receiver. He's out with a chest injury. Sean Ryan, I guess if I'm reading that right. He's a guard. He's out with an elbow injury. Darnell Savage, a safety. He's out with a shoulder injury. TJ Slayton or Skaten. He's a defensive lineman. He's out with a knee injury. Preston Smith, the linebacker. He's out with an ankle injury. Zach Torn, offensive lineman. He hurt his finger, so he's out. Uh, Coy Walker, linebacker, shoulder injury. Christian Watson, wide receiver, hamstring. And Emmanuel Wilson, running back, he's got a shoulder injury. So there's a lot more injured players on the Green Bay side, obviously, which may or may
Or
not add
so-called injuries.
injured, right? Yeah, so
Yeah.
injured. So some of the game highlights, obviously, Dallas ranks fifth in the NFL in total offense, third in passing yards, and first in points per game. They have scored at least 30 points in 8 home games so far. Dak Prescott ranks third in the NFL for passing yards, second in QBR, and first in passing touchdowns. So those are good positive things from a Dallas perspective. Green Bay is the youngest team in the NFL, by the way. Their
Yes. I heard
age
they were.
is 25.7 years old, which means they could be extremely hungry for providing an upset. And that's the last thing we need, is for them to get
Right.
extremely hungry, right? But Green Bay ranks 12th in total offense and passing offense. The experts out there say that Dallas is favored to win this game by about 7 points. So we'll see how true that is, right? So obviously, as far as the quarterbacks go, we're going to have Dak Prescott once again lead the team. And he'll be facing Jordan Love, which is Aaron Rodgers' replacement. So, alrighty. So we'll go ahead and jump to some of the other wild card games, and we're not going to get into the kind of detail that we did with the Dallas or the Green Bay game. So, um, basically, the next wild card matchup that we've got on the NFC side is the LA Rams against the Detroit Lions. That's scheduled for Sunday, also the 14th, but that's at 8:15 p.m. in the evening.
That's the late game.
That's the late game. And just to give a little bit of historical perspective to those folks out there that are history buffs, the LA Rams versus the Detroit Lions last met on October 24th, 2021. And the Los Angeles Rams actually beat the Lions 28 to
Wow.
19. Yeah. And they actually beat them the year 2 years prior to that as well. Uh, the LA Rams beat them 30 to 16, and the rest doesn't matter, of course. So the next wild card matchup on the NFC side is between our other favorite team, right? The Philadelphia Eagles and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Uh, do I have that right? Oh,
Monday?
that's on Monday. No, that's right. It is on Monday. There is a wild card game on Monday, the 15th at 8:15, and that's between our favorite team, the Philadelphia Eagles, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So that's scheduled for Monday. And for those history buffs out there, the last time these two teams played each other was back in September of this past year. And of course, Philadelphia beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 25 to 11. Prior to that, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers had actually beaten Philadelphia each and every time. So, on the AFC side, the next wild card game is scheduled for Sunday, and of course, that's between the Steelers and the Buffalo Bills. That's scheduled for Sunday the 14th. That's the first game of the day, and it starts at 1 p.m. in the afternoon. And for the history buffs out there, the last time these two teams met was back in October 9th of 2022. And at the time, the Bills sacked the the Pittsburgh Steelers 38-3. Like I said, what happened in the seasons prior doesn't matter between these teams. So for
Oh no,
those history buffs out there, and I when I post the historical, it's just historical, you know. So the next wild card matchup on the AFC side is in the evening. That is between the Dolphins and the Kansas City Chiefs uh, on Saturday. And of course, as you and I were talking just a few minutes ago, Arrowhead Stadium.
I'm gonna stop you. All right, Saturday is the 13th.
Okay, well then I forgot to change the date on there, but it is on Saturday, and it is
All right,
the
all right,
15th, which
all
is
right.
tomorrow, by the way, for those of you
Yeah,
that don't know.
tomorrow is Saturday,
Right.
the 13th.
So there's a big brouhaha because, Arrowhead Stadium right now is snowed in, extremely snowed in. I had some pictures, but I'm not going to be able to show them where, I mean, it is fully covered. And
Really?
yeah, and so the weather is going to be like minus degrees. It means it's going to be below zero. So they've got concerns that maybe they shouldn't expose the players or the coaching staffs to that kind of extreme temperatures because I don't know. You mentioned the ice bowl. I don't know how
Yes,
cold it was, whether it was in the minus or whether it was just cold,
it was in the minus.
in the minus. Yeah. So there it's still up in the air, but the question is where would they hold it? The nearest place they could hold it would be in St. Louis, which they don't want to do. And keep in mind from a Kansas City perspective, that's their home game. And typically, when you have at least a home game, you've got home field advantage. And so, it would be really disappointing if they lost their home game, but at the same time, you don't want to expose your players to unnecessary risks, obviously. So, but all right, and basically the last time these two teams met was back in November 5th of 2023, this past year, and the Kansas City Chiefs beat the Miami Dolphins 21-14. The next game on the AFC side is between the Cleveland Browns and our other home team, the Houston Texans. That is Saturday at 4:30. Basically, the last two times that these two teams met was back this past year on the 24th of December, and Cleveland actually beat Houston 36-22. So So basically, like I mentioned before, we've got these teams right here that are vying for the official, conference championship. And basically, you know, the way it's going to work is basically these teams here are going to hash it out. And then the
Why
lowest
do you have
seed,
Dallas and Washington
where
on top?
I I forgot to change the slide. I'm sorry.
All right.
You can tell that I'm rehashing slides. Sorry about that. So
All right.
anyway,
Is there any way you can put Dallas already over here in the middle? Huh?
no, 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 no. I can't do that. I
No.
can't. I can't do magic. So basically, Houston and Cleveland will fight it out, and there'll be a winner there, and then Kansas City and Miami, and then Buffalo and Pittsburgh, and then the lowest seed out of the remaining three will actually play against Baltimore, and then the remaining two teams will hash it out, and the winners of this uh, place here will end up competing against each other for the final spot. Same thing on this side. Tampa Bay against Philadelphia, Detroit against the LA Rams, Dallas and Green Bay. Out of the three remaining teams, the lowest seed will play San Francisco. Um, so hypothetically, if Philadelphia beats Tampa Bay and the LA Rams beat Detroit and Dallas beats Green Bay, then the lowest seed would be Tampa Bay, right? So Tampa Bay would fall into this slot, and then Dallas and the LA
Oh,
Rams.
if Philadelphia beats Tampa Bay, Tampa Bay's out.
Yeah, Tampa Bay's out, right?
Right. So
So
what? How would Tampa Bay play San Francisco? No.
sorry. Yeah, you're right.
All
So
right. All
so
right.
basically, let's say Philadelphia plays Tampa Bay, okay? And
Uh huh.
Philadelphia wins. So you've got Philadelphia. Let's say the LA Rams beat I'm sorry, Detroit beats the LA Rams, okay, because they're third seed, so they're higher, right, against the LA Rams. That leaves Detroit out there. And then let's say Dallas beats Green Bay, so that leaves you Dallas. It leads you Detroit, and it leads you Philadelphia. The
Right.
lowest seed out of all of those would be Philadelphia. So
Right.
Philadelphia would actually end up playing San Francisco. Same thing on this side. If Houston beats Cleveland, and if Kansas City beats Miami, and if Buffalo beats Pittsburgh, then the lowest seed would be Houston, right? Or
Right.
right. So Houston would
We'll play
play
Baltimore.
Baltimore, and then the remaining two would play each other.
Yes,
And
sir.
and then the winners of these two would then go on to the division on each side, and then eventually you would have to an AFC contender as well as an NFC contender. So I got that right. Sometimes it can get
Good
confusing.
job. Good job.
Alrighty. So with regards to the playoff schedule, the wild card round dates, I do have the stations on this slide.
All right.
Saturday, the first one will be
They were saying something about the first game that it's only going to be on
it could be. So if you pay for Peacock, you'll watch it on Peacock. No. The second game's on Peacock. The first one is going to be broadcast on NBC. It's the second one that will
All
only
right.
be exclusively on Peacock. So you have to
Yeah,
subscribe for
people were
Peacock.
complaining about that.
I know, but everything, NBC's doing quite a bit of that where everything goes to Peacock because they have to charge money for it. So, same thing on Sunday. You've got the first game at 1 o'clock. That'll be on CBS. Second game at 4:30, CBS or Fox. And I don't know why the or Fox is. I don't understand that. But then, of course, you've got the third game at 8:15 on NBC. And then on Monday, you'll have the last wild card on ESPN/ABC. Then, of course, we go to the divisional rounds, which will be two games on Saturday, the 20th. And that's going to be, I don't have the times for that yet. Wonder why I don't have the times. That's weird. Huh. We'll have to do research and find out what those times are. I thought I had times
Yes,
on there.
sir.
And then, of course, you got the conference championship on the 28th on each side. The AFC conference championship at 3 p.m., followed by the NFC, which we hope the Cowboys are in that conference, right, at 6:30 p.m. So, and that's basically it. The Super Bowl is in full force, and it will be on Sunday, February 11th at 6:30 p.m. on CBS.
Yes, sir. So, in a nutshell, that's what we have. All these teams playing, and one and done.
Exactly. Exactly. So
If they
it's
win, they're on to the next round. If they don't win, they go to Fort Living Room.
that's right. That's right. It's been a long season. I can't believe that we've been going at it since what was it? August, September. I can't remember when we
Yes, sir.
started it. So it's been quite a challenge. Oh, can't forget. You know what? Hold on.
Hey,
Hold on. What happened? I forgot our chat guests. We've got Indy. Look at
What's up,
that.
Indy?
Look at that. And by the way, we've got a
Go
new chat screen.
Dallas.
We've got a new chat screen. By the way, if you see it,
Awesome.
our chats
Yep.
actually our chats actually go up now. So gives us an opportunity to see more chats on the screen for anybody that
Yes,
wants to
sir.
chime in. So definitely, it's going to be exciting. It's getting exciting. It's getting very exciting, and like I said, we hope for some good news on Sunday. You know, we hope that the cheeseheads are not celebrating on Sunday.
Right. Right.
We
You
hope
know,
that the local cheeseheads may be celebrating on Sunday, but not the Packer cheeseheads.
well, remember we have the bandwagon fan, so right. There's a lot of those going on.
Yeah.
So the Cowboys do pass this round. There's gonna be a lot more Cowboys in the area.
Oh yeah, of course, of course. By the way, how do you like my Batman wing?
I saw that. It's nice.
It's pretty
Right.
cool, and it does all kinds of stuff. I put it on
Oh,
strobe, and it changes colors. You see?
do you have your cape and your mask also?
No, I used to have one. Remember, a few years ago.
No, I don't. No.
Yeah, I had one, and it had 6-pack abs and everything. It was pretty revealing.
That's all right. No, I never saw it and don't want to see it. So.
I didn't have a Robin though. I didn't have a sidekick. I used
That's
it. I used it for a Halloween party, and nobody knew who I was, which was kind of cool.
You were Batman and nobody knew who you were.
Yeah, it was a Halloween party for people that I worked with, and they didn't know who I was. They didn't know who Batman was. Let me put it to you that way.
Oh my.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it was kind of cool. I was actually better than Michael Keaton.
Yeah. Pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah, so.
I like what you do with the screens and the different fonts.
I know. I know. I hope I don't get in trouble with ESPN over that font. It's not their font.
If you do, it was nice knowing you.
I know, right? No, I don't think so. Like I said, it's a font that I pulled off of Google Fonts, so they can go complain to Google all they want.
Yeah, they should.
All righty. Well, everybody, that was it for this special edition of the Spin Zone. Once again, we've got a fun-packed weekend of playoff games, wild card games, and of course, the weather's not going to be pretty. So, what else will there be to do other than watch football? So
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We'll just have to stay tuned.
We should ask Indy. What does he think the score will be?
Yeah, if he's still watching, what do you think the score's going to be? We'll leave the chat open for a few seconds here.
Yeah.
Oh, he's put some more. Look at that.
Awesome.
Oh, he is watching.
Batman.
He likes my Batman. So, Indy, what do you think the score's going to be?
I say 30-21.
No, I'll say 37-31. 6 points. Dallas versus Green Bay.
That's what I say, but I don't know, really. Like you said, it's there's no veterans on that team.
Right.
It's on Green Bay. It's the first time they're going to the playoffs, and the average age, I thought it was 24, but you say 25, so.
Yeah, that's the average calculation. Oh, Indy says it is going to be 28-21. Well, we'll see. We'll see.
We'll see. All right. Good job, Indy.
And by that, Indy, you mean 28 Green Bay, Dallas 21?
Oh, hey.
No, I'm just joking. Let's not. Aquí no echarles mosca. Because if that were to happen, Mike McCarthy would be on the next plane ride out of Dallas, I think.
Well, there's already a conspiracy.
No,
nobody.
No. We're poor. We're poor podcasters. We don't have the luxury of owning a restaurant or, getting paid by YouTube like other local podcasters.
Right, right. Sorry. Hey, we do it for fun. There
We
we
do
go.
we
Dallas
do it for
28.
fun. We don't do it for the money, you know. We just do it for fun. So, all righty, everybody. Well, this is it for the Spin Zone. Indy, once again, thank you for chiming in.
Yes,
And
sir.
we will have the chat lines open on the next episode, which will be next week. It'll become a lot more clear, and the show probably will become a lot more shorter as we get to the big game on the 11th of February. So,
Yes, sir.
everyone, have a great night and go Cowboys. And let's hope for a pitada on Sunday.
And just like the great coach said, how about the Cowboys?
Yep. Yep. All righty, everybody. Have a good evening and thank you for watching.
Adios.
Hold on.